All right, so first things first, I'm gonna go over my setup a little bit here, and then we'll get right into how I got a throttle body from the junkyard, electronic throttle body. So we'll get right into how this thing works. So first off, I have a power supply. These two leads are just connected to, I bought a 5-volt DC power supply off Amazon that plugs right into the wall. So I have 5-volt positive, which is the blue lead here. And then our negative is, or our ground is the yellow lead. And then I got myself another Amazon special little 1-channel oscilloscope. So this thing is quite cool actually. So I'm using this just to learn kind of automotive diagnostics, and then eventually, you know, obviously you do want to get a multi-channel oscilloscope, but this thing's quite handy for learning purposes, and I do plan on using this just for like basic diagnostics on my car. So for those of you that don't know, what an oscilloscope does is it simply plots voltage over time. So voltage is the y-axis and then time is the x-axis. So your automotive sensors in your car work off of a 5-volt reference system. So generally speaking, the ECU will send 5 volts to, I'll show you here in a sec, like in this case, it's a resistor, variable resistor, but it sends 5 volts to a resistor, and depending on the position of that sensor, whether it's throttle body, vacuum, pressure, temperature, whatever, it'll slow down that voltage, and then it'll get a return voltage, and it'll read that return voltage, and it'll take that as a sensor value. So again, this oscilloscope is quite handy. I just have it on auto mode here, and then I'm toggling this thing up here. So this changes like where you have your base reference. I just leave that in the middle. And this is pretty cool. So you can change the intervals. So right now I have it set to 5 volt. So each one of these intervals in the y-axis is 5 volts. So this would be 5, 10, 15, 20. I actually want to change that to 2 volt, because then we'll see a little bit more here. Because I have a 5-volt power supply. So we're going to see 2, 4, 6. So we're going to be somewhere in between the 4 and the 6-volt scale. And then next I'm going to go over, this is just for voltage, so 2 volt times 1, I can change that scale as well, but I'm going to leave that. So right now this is on, this is controlling the x-axis time. So right now each one of these blocks is 200 milliseconds. So this is 200, 400, 600, 800, 1 second. So I'm going to change that, because right now we're plotting 2 seconds. Actually, I think that should be okay. So I'm going to leave that. So just to show you, for example here, like I said, I have our 5-volt power. So I'm going to hook up the power to the positive on my oscilloscope. And then if I touch the negative, I should be getting, right now it has a bit of noise, but I should be getting, you see how it's going down to 5 volts? The reason why it's negative is the way I have my lead set up. So if I put this one, if I switch them, so see how it's going positive 5 volts now. So when you see like waves on a scope, that's like, say if you have a crankshaft position sensor or something, it's sending a 5-volt signal to the ECU. So you'd see waves, something like that. But if I hold it constant, I have constant 5 volts. So that's the oscilloscope. Let's talk about the throttle body. I just went to the junkyard. I literally got this off of the first vehicle I saw that I had the tools. I only brought like a 10 and 12 mil. So this was just held on with, I think it was 10 mil bolts. It was off a Suzuki XL7, the SUV that shared with GM. Doesn't really matter, just electronic throttle body. To show you, so yeah, I took the throttle body off, I cut the wiring harness, and I stripped back all the wires. So these two are motor control, and then these 4 are for the throttle position sensor. I have it written down here. So the brown and yellow is the motor control, like I said, and then the tan is the ground for our throttle position sensor. And again, we'll get in the diagram in a sec. So the tan is the ground, green is the signal, gray is the 5-volt reference, and then purple is the second signal. One thing I didn't know actually is these throttle bodies have redundant sensors. I guess because of the position of the throttle is quite important for the ECU, so it actually has two sensors just for safety. But just to show you how the throttle itself works, so if I have my yellow and brown, and I could tell these were the motor control wires because they're twisted together. And I'm going to take my 5-volt power, apply power to it. Okay, so that's the wrong way because I have DC power, so it matters which direction it is. So if I apply it here, our throttle should open. See that? Okay, so that's how the motor and the throttle body works. Now let's talk about these 4 sensors and how the computer is able to determine what position the throttle is in. So at its very basic form, there's a potentiometer in the throttle body. And what a potentiometer is, it's a variable resistor. So I actually have a little potentiometer here. So we're going to play with this guy in a sec. So right now I'm turning this knob and it's adjusting the resistance. And how it's doing that, or I guess it's adjusting where it's reading the resistance. And how it's doing that in its simplest form is you have a wiper track here. So I'm going to have my voltage going in, and then I have my ground supply. And then the variable resistor, it turns a little wiper here. So it's going to, depending where you turn it, it's going to stop on the track. And then I'm going to take a reading from the voltage in here to the voltage out. So I'm going to get the voltage difference that's going in. It's going to go through this resistance and it's going to come out. And that, in its short form, is how, so the ECU sends a volt in and then it detects this voltage out, and that's how it knows what position on that wiper track the throttle is. So if you're curious about the calculation, so our voltage out here equals voltage in times the resistance measured, so the RM, depending how far it is on the track here, divided by the resistance of the potentiometer, the total resistance. So yeah, it's just a simple ratio. So say if we're halfway through here, actually we'll measure the resistance in a second. I'll show you on our potentiometer. So say if we're halfway, if our resistance on our potentiometer is just 10,000 and we're halfway, obviously 5,000, so that's 50%. So we should be getting about 2.5 volts coming out. So first thing I'm going to do is measure the total resistance on the track. And I just know from previous, like preparing for this video, that it's going to be on the 20K scale. So I'm just going to measure from one end of the track to the other. And we're getting 9.11 ohms on a 20K scale. So that means 9,100 ohms essentially. So that is our total resistance across this track on this potentiometer. So that's our pot here. So now if I change it, this is our V out. So this is our, like where the car ECU would take its reference voltage. Again, depending where this guy, I thought I had that wrong for a sec. No, it's just a bit of background noise, but so let's just do it. So depending where this guy is turned, we're gonna get variable resistance. So right now I'm all the way counterclockwise and it's full resistance, and I'll go clockwise. And you see how that resistance is dropping all the way down to 0. So again, I'm just moving that wiper along that track and just taking a resistance reading along that resistive track. So just to show you, I did the calc. We're going to calculate the V out max. So that would be with the potentiometer fully turned. So our R measured is full resistance. So if we have I measured with the oscilloscope is 5.7 volts. Times 9100 divided by 9100 equals 1, so that just cancels out. So we should get the exact same voltage going in, so 5.7 volts. Okay, just to show you this setup, it's kind of messy here. I lied to you guys earlier, actually is the yellow that was the positive on my 5-volt supply. So I just have yellow connected to one, blue connected to the other. I have the positive lead on the oscilloscope connected to positive, the yellow, and then I have the negative on the oscilloscope connected to the where we're measuring here, our reference, our track wiper, I guess. Okay, so I just have the potentiometer set up like I showed you guys earlier behind camera, and I have you right on the oscilloscope so you get a good view. Right now, so if I crank it all the way to its maximum resistance setting, so if you remember the ratio earlier, we have V in, which was our 5.7 volts, times, we're at max resistance right now, so we're, let's just say 9,000 for easy math. 9,000 over 9,000 equals 1. So then 5.7 volts times 1 equals 5.7 volts. So that's why we're showing full voltage there. And then if I crank her down all the way to minimum resistance, so now referring back to the ratio, we're going to have 5.7 volts times 0 for the resistance. 0 divided by 9,000 is 0. 5.7 times 0 is 0. So that's why we're getting no voltage showing there, because we're at the minimum resistance on the potentiometer. So as I move this guy, let's say I'm right in the middle, just for easy math, let's say I'm measuring 4,500 ohms between one of the inputs of that resistive track and the wiper is about 4,500. So say 4,500 divided by 9,000, 0.5, 5.7 times 0.5 should roughly be 2.8 volts or whatever that is. Again, I'm just creating numbers here, but we're actually at about 3 volts. So we're pretty much half right there. So that's how that would look with our calculation ratio there. And when they say it's variable resistor, it's actually just a variable reading on that wiper track. Like, we're not actually changing the resistance, we're just changing the position where we're measuring the resistance, which in turn changes the voltage that comes out of that wiper. Okay, so now we have a general understanding of how the potentiometer works. We'll go over our wiring once more. So we already went over the brown and yellow. That was just for the motor, for the throttle itself. And then now our gray, so it's going to be our 5 volt reference, our positive. And then our tan is going to attach to our ground, so that's going to be the 5 volts going in. And same thing, it's going to go over a track. And then we have our ground, which I'm going to connect it to. And then we have our green, which is our signal. So that's going to be that voltage out here. So again, as the throttle wiper moves, it's going to give a different voltage out, which will tell the computer the position of the throttle. So I'm just connecting, like I said, my gray to my positive here, tan to my negative. And then I have my oscilloscope leads. I'm going to connect the negative to my green reference there, my signal 1, and the red to the positive, my positive power supply. Our baseline on our throttle is 2 volts, and I think that's because if you notice the throttle here isn't like perfectly up and down. I think it is slightly open, so that's why it's reading. So I'm just in the background opening the throttle here, and you see how that wave goes up. So right now our throttle is fully open. I can't remember what I said earlier, but our throttle is fully open and we're measuring our voltage max, or voltage average, 4.9 volts. So if the ECU sees 4.9 volts, then it knows the throttle is fully open. Go to fully closed, and like I said, we're measuring that baseline of, average about 2 volts. Throttle halfway, 3.8 volts, again, fully open. So I don't know about you guys, but I find that fascinating. If I can, like, I make a wave again, and that's the wave the ECU would see. That's the data it would process for the throttle position. So just to show, if you remember earlier, I said we have the, which one is it here? The purple, which is our second, our redundant signal. So we're going to have everything set up, except I'm just going to move my lead from the green to the purple. And I believe the redundancy is opposite of the main signal. So it's going to start at high voltage, and then as I open the throttle, it should draw down to almost 0, like they're inverse to each other. Yep, so same story. We're not getting the full voltage, but that's also, again, that same offset. If you remember before, it's like 1.3 volts or something. So that's actually exactly 5 minus 1.3 is 3.7. So that's showing that our throttle, like I said, isn't fully vertical. It's slightly open, so it's, or slightly at an angle. So the potentiometer is reading that slight angle. But right now it's at full voltage minus that offset, opposite of what it was before. And as I open, so that's about half throttle, 2.2 volts, and then I go down to 0. So 0 in this case, or fully open, is 0.9 volts. Halfway, fully closed is where's the average? 3.77 volts. All right, guys, hopefully you found that as interesting as I did. I don't know about you, but I find that stuff fascinating. It's really cool to get down to the level to see like really exactly how the sensors work on a car, how computer, or I guess how the car computer, again, just uses basic electrical principles. That's actually Ohm's law, how it sends volts out. And again, there's some sort of resistance that slows down that voltage. And then it reads the voltage difference, I guess, is what the computer is reading. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I also, when I went to the junkyard, I have a, what is it? A map sensor, like manifold absolute pressure sensor. So I want to go over that. And then I have a mass airflow sensor, O2 sensor. So I kind of want to do similar videos for all the sensors. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day.